Hello, I'm Suzanne from bookcareers.com, and I want to just spend a few minutes talking to you about burnout and stress and give you some strategies to recover, because I'm putting this out this week before I've got anything else set up, and there will be things set up from mid-June onwards. Because this week, the week in the UK where you have 2 bank holidays and another basic 4-day weekend, it is a great opportunity for you to aim to reset yourself, at least give you a little bit of recovery time. I mean, if you've got real burnout, it can take weeks, if not months, or even years to actually recover from it, because it requires a whole new working strategy from yourself. But here's sort of a few tips to get you through the next week or so. The first thing is, I bet if your burnout is being caused by work overload, you're already thinking, hurrah, I've got 2 days to catch up on work. No, you have not. You have got 2 extra days to get some rest and some respite. If you keep feeding this work overload, you are never going to come through it, because your work expands to the time you allow to fill it. I think that's either the Pareto principle or it is a principle about work culture. And one of the things you need to do is you need to not necessarily, I don't want to talk about productivity, but the more you're burnt out, the less productive you become. You become inefficient because you're tired, you're stressed, you're worrying about all the things that are overdue. So you need to take a step back, and these 4 days are your time to take the first step back. Now, if you were planning to work on Thursday and Friday, then I'm going to say to you, I'll give you permission to work until 1 p.m. on Thursday and then stop. And by stop, I mean sign out of all your emails, sign out of your work social media, particularly Twitter. I mean, I love Twitter. I have this love-hate relationship with Twitter, because I love Twitter for some of the things, and then I find at other times I dislike Twitter. I find at times it is a cesspool of hate. But I find, because I've suffered from burnout, I've suffered from work-related stress, and I've overcome this in the past. So I really empathise with your situation. But I have found that when I'm on the borderline of work-related stress, one of the best things I can do is to step away from some of the social media that might be antagonizing or aggravating that stress. So I would just say, unless your job is precisely to monitor social media over those 4 days, then sign out of Twitter. The second thing is, on those 4 days, to do things that are not work related. And I know for some of you this might be difficult because you've already committed to do stuff. And by things that are work related, I mean by you might have accepted responsibility to organise something. Now that might be well and good, but for a lot of us, when we organise things, it can feel like an extension of work. And take it from me, I mean, I'm natural born organizer. If there's an event, I usually am involved in it somewhere, but you have to take a step back if you're not already committed and say no, no, no. The third thing is to find an activity that will give you some me time, even if you've got busy demands with your family or friends, but try and find an activity where you can give yourself some brain space, because one of the key things about burnout is we feel like our brain is full, that our brain cannot take any more information. Now, it's really important. Now, something could be to give you some me time, could even be reading a children's book to the kids and putting on funny voices, you know, but to choose a book that you want to read to the kids and not necessarily one the kids have chosen. I know that's cheating for the children, but really for you, it's about finding something perhaps you have pleasure in. Or it could be about going to the local park and feeding the squirrels or the ducks, but doing something. But one of the things I would say is quite important is to get outdoors. And I know the weather forecast here is not so great for Thursday and Friday, but it's meant to be lovely on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you get outside and have some fresh air. Now, those are some very simple strategies here that can help give you a break. But the most important thing is you have to give yourself the break. You have to give yourself permission not to think about work, not to worry about work. And if you are worried that you're going to take some time off because you're so far behind on a project, that you're going to take some time off and that your job's going to be a risk as a result of that, then please contact me, because we need to have a longer chat. My email is suzanne@bookcareers.com. Now, I'm not actually picking up emails until maybe the 13th of June, which might not help you right now, but do get in touch because I can help you with some personal one-to-one strategies. In the meantime, I'd like to hear more about some of the things that have triggered your burnout and some of the issues you are facing. Now, we've set up a forum. It's called bookcareers.com/live. There's an online forum where you can register with an anonymous username. It's not tied to any other social media profile. The only person that will realise that it might be you will be me, and I offer you the same confidentiality that you'd come to expect from your doctor. So please, there's some questions on there that I'd like you to answer, not just for me, but I'd like to expand some of the discussion, because some of what you're experiencing, the commonalities are across the industry. They're not just you personally, even though it might feel like you personally. And I speak as someone who has helped many, many people overcome burnout, overwork, work-related stress, the whole lot of it. I'm going to pause there. This just been a very ad hoc video. There'll be more to follow. And if you go to bookcareers.com/live, register and tell me your story. But also, if there's something really, really serious where you are worried about losing your job, then please email me at suzanne@bookcareers.com. Now, have a brilliant bank holiday weekend. Congratulations to Her Majesty the Queen. I'm a huge royalist here, and I'll catch up with you soon.